So coming to PEB, I will in this session I will take you through what PEB is all about, what are its application, advantages. I will also have a like comparison between PEB and conventional building. I will give you a brief design, overview or design parameters of PEB buildings. What are the career opportunity in PEB sector? This is like one of the most demanding sectors nowadays. So going ahead, what pre-engineered building is all about. As the name suggests, the word pre means before. Engineered means the buildings that has been designed. That is like a pre-engineered building. Now, then you may ask what is the difference between pre-engineered or non-engineered buildings? There are many buildings or which is being done as per the experience of the contractor, or somebody may give you a thumb rule. Okay, this is like your span or do by 400 by 500 beam or something like that. As per their experience, they don't go into detailing of it, and they give you, and basis of this contractor assumption, people go on building their buildings or sheds or something like that. So that is called non-engineer buildings. So when there was earthquake in Gujarat, most of the non-engineer buildings failed. I will just like to stress on the line that most of the non-engineer building failed. Non-engineer means those which were not in line with the Indian codes or American codes, or that has to be designed as per the codal guidelines. So that was not there in the place. So now coming to PEB. In PEB, design and engineering both are done in advance. And these are the main crux of PEB buildings. Now the manufacturing is done at factory so that you can achieve a better quality of the work. When the work is being erected or done at site, you cannot get that quality as compared to a building or any structure that is manufactured at site, because that precision and quality control is there. Later on, these PEB structures or the various component of the PEB building is shifted to the site, and then erection and assembly is done at the site. So what are the various components of PEB? There are many components, but out of that, I have highlighted out major components of it. Like one is puff panel. Puff is polyurethane foam. Basically, it protects from outside temperature, noise, and pollution, etc. In a normal building, it is like cladding is done with a brick wall, whereas in PEB building, this puff panel is given. It is varies from thickness varies from 40 mm to 80 mm depending upon the requirements. Whereas in conventional building, the thickness of brick wall will be 230 mm or 115 mm. So because of this, a dead load is reduced a lot. Now coming to next, that is purlin. Purlin is given on the top of the structures to support a roof sheet. Generally, it is placed at 1 meter or 1.2 or 1.5. It varies up to 1.5 meter. Then there comes the component called beam. You must be aware about it's just like a normal beam. Then rafter. In PEB, truss plays a major role. When the span is higher, in a normal building, we get a span up to 10 meter, 12 meter. But in PEB, you can go up to 80 meter, 90 meter, 100 meter. So in that place, a truss plays a major role, where the weight of the structure is reduced drastically by providing truss. Now going ahead, other is column and base plate. I hope most of the people must be knowing about it. Anyway, in the next slide, we'll have a pictorial representation of the same, where you will get a brief idea of what all these various component of PEB is all about. So as I told you regarding puff panel, you can have you can see the image. Basically, it is profile seated, and between two profile seat, this polyurethane foam is being compressed with high pressure and all this, so that both the seats, in both the ends of the seat, generally the thickness is 0.4 mm or 0.3 mm, depends upon the requirement. This puff panel is made. And now coming to jade purlin, this is given at the top of the roof as well as at the side of the wall to support the seating. It may be in the form of C purlin as well. Nowadays, jet purlin is widely used because its weight is comparatively less than that of C purlin. Coming to sag rod. Sag rod is generally used to connect two purlins so that there is equal distribution of load, as well as there's no buckling in the purlin. Going ahead with the next slide. So far we have talked about all the components. These components is being highlighted over here. First, you can see that jet purlin that is given at the top. Other is a skylight. In a roof, we provide a skylight so that we can minimize electricity bill and all this. And daylight, you can utilize the daylight. Other is louver, so that proper air circulation is there. Coming to a side wall and aluminum windows. So all these components you can have a look. Here place you can see the road bracing. This is generally used to transfer lateral load like wind and seismic load, so that there is no buckling in the column and force get transferred to the base of the column. From column it gets transferred to the foundation. So what are the applications and uses of PEB buildings? This is widely used in warehouse, factories, and workshop. Now you may ask, why warehouse, factories, and workshop? You might have seen warehouses of span is 60 meter, 70 meter. In that, if we go with conventional building like RCC building, it will take lot of time, as well as the quality, accuracy. So time is the crux of the hour. So that in these industries it is widely used. Coming to gas station, you might have seen gas station or petrol pump. There also this structure is being used. Third is parking sheds, showrooms. There also the application of PEV is widely used. Recently, we have been hit by COVID. So just imagine, had we we have been going through normal conventional building, it would have taken lot of time. There was hue and cry all across India and abroad. So this COVID hospital was erected only in just within a span of 1.5 months. So PB roles you can understand in case of emergency. Now coming to railway shelters. In railway shelters also it is widely used. It is used in bridges as well. In most of the site wherever we are going to work, first requirement comes is how engineer or other staff is going to where they are going to stay. So there this porta cabin plays a crucial role. It can be like lifted and shifted within 10 days from any factory to the site, depending upon the location. So what is hangar? You can have a pictorial view where aircraft's maintenance is being done. You see the PB structures over there, all trusses, truss members and everything. This is pictorial view of schools. Nowadays, there is a get advanced in PB, that is multi-story building. Even multi-story PB is also possible, and China is doing a great job in multi-story. They have erected many multi-story building during these COVID times, just within a span of 1.5 months. The entire city where this COVID was hit, they erected many hospitals, multi-story storage. They isolated the whole city with PB structures. This is a brief overview of military shed or police barrack. This is widely used. This was the site office I was talking about. At the first place, when the entire site is totally empty, there is nothing. When the engineers or workers go for work, they need first accommodation, the basic accommodation. This in most of the places you might have seen site office. So here also PB structures plays a great role. Nowadays, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. In this scheme also this toilet is widely used. Here a brief of airport. In airport, most of the structures like in arrival buildings or terminal building, this structure is widely used. You might have seen in any arrival building, lot of big trusses is there. So you can see the one structure of a space frame, that is truss members. So here also in airport or air hangars, it is used. This is an example of temporary hospitals. You may say COVID hospitals or any sort of hospital that is temporary. Now, coming to what are the advantages? Why we are talking about PEB buildings? Why not conventional building? First thing is cost. It has a cost comparison I have done in the coming slide. So here the cost is low as compared to normal RCC building or still a normal building. It takes less time equal to money. So that matters a lot. Quality, as I told you, quality wise, the material is superior as compared to other building materials. We can go up to, as I said, for larger span, PB is preferable. And the most important, it has a very low maintenance and operation cost. In RCC building, you might have seen after a few years in your flat, you might see cracks or some plaster is going on, going off your buildings. And there are many maintenance issues, which in PB we do not find as such. It has got a good architectural versatility. Moreover, we have a good scope of expansion. In expansion, it becomes very easy as compared to any RCC building or any other buildings. So as I told you, the cost comparison, it is approximately 30%. The weight is lighter as compared to normal conventional building. So when the weight is lighter, your material consumption is less. So cost will be like, it depends upon the quantum of the work. If we talk about warehouse or some big structures, there we can save up to 30%. When the same thing is like, a small area, there the saving will be somewhere around 10%. It depends upon the quantum of the work. But yes, definitely it saves times as well as materials. And material wastage, it is just like a national wastage. So a good engineer buildings can save a lot. Now coming to grade of steel. Generally in conventional structural steel or metal building, earlier the low grade was preferred, that is 250 MPa. Now in PEB, we go for higher grade because it has a huge span, more bending moment will be induced. So as per this, the current trend, we go with a higher strength. Next is, as I told you earlier also, in PB, we can go up to higher span. The flexibility is more there, whereas in conventional building, the span is generally less. Construction period. From the design aspects, construction period in PB it takes less time, whereas in conventional it takes more time. Design wise, it is quick and efficient design. PBs are mainly formed of a standard section, as well as there are some non-standard section which is being manufactured in the factory and then transported to the site. So there also parallelly the work can go hand in hand. Whereas in like conventional building, RCC building, that flexibility is not there. Coming to seismic resistance, this PB building has better seismic resistance due to lightweight. As we know, base year, if you calculate the base year, BB equal to H into W. H is your horizontal acceleration coefficient and W is your weight of the structure. Heavier the structure, more is the seismic resistance. So in steel building, the resistance will be seismic force generated will be less as compared to conventional building. This is like in cost comparison. If we see PB per square meter may be as low as 30%. That is again, it varies from 10 to 30 depending upon the quantum of the work, as I told you. And other is conventional building. In conventional building, price per square meter be again, it will be as high as 30% as compared to PB building. Now, how do we do the reduction in the cost? One, you can see this image. This will give you a brief idea between the two buildings. One is pre-engineered metal building, steel building, and other is conventional steel building. In left hand side, you can see this member size is tapered. Whereas in right hand side, it is a conventional steel building where the member is uniform. Why this is done? It may come to your mind like why such thing is done. Basically, in pre-engineered building, the structure is designed as per bending moment. Say for example, at the bottom, if it is a pin connection, so bending moment will be less here as compared to the top. So as per the bending moment, we make the section accordingly. Lower at the bottom, higher at the place where the bending moment is high. Whereas in conventional building, despite a lower bending moment at some section, we design the building as per the highest bending moment in that section. So we are utilizing that things. In one of the slides, I have covered that bending moment diagram as well, so that it will give you a better clarity on the same. Now coming to in the same slide, you can see at the top of the beam there is purlin. Generally, it is placed at 1 meter or from 1 meter to 1.5 meter to support the roof sheet. You see in left-hand side pre-engineered building, there are more connections. So that connection design plays a huge role over here. So this connection design is of utmost importance so that structure is like in accordance with the design. So connection design and detailing, both things plays a great role in PEB buildings. At the columns left hand side, you can see the this is gut to support the wall cladding. Going ahead with the next slide, I'll just give you a brief of design of PEB. What are the design parameters, how it is designed, what are the various codes, what are the various software that is used. Normally in college, we all have studied about stiffness matrix method. This method is generally used for design of PEB structures. Now coming to the what are the standards and codes that is used in design of PEB. One is AISC, other is ASCE 07. You can use the ASCE 07 versions. Yes. So these are what are the standards that is used in this. One is AISC, other is ASCE and Indian Standard Code IS 800, and MBMA, Metal Building Manufacturers Association. Please go through this MBMA guidelines. This is really helpful. It is a very good book. You can have a good knowledge of PEB if you study this. And other is software. What are the software that is being used for this? Estate Pro is widely used for design of the same. ETABS in US, people prefer ETABS for connection. RAM Steel and Tekla. These two plays a great role in providing connection design. Coming to load consideration, what are the loads that is being taken into account while designing PEB structures? Number one, first, that is the dead load. What is the dead load? It includes self weight of the structures, the purlins, columns, rafters, whatever we have discussed so far. All these, that puff panel and roof sitting, all this will be acting as a dead load. If there is some EOT crane or monorail, that load will also be taken into crane load, that will be taken into account. So other is live load. Live load should be taken into consideration as per IS code 875. Generally, it varies from 0.75 kilonewton per meter square to 1.5 kilonewton per meter square. If it is non-accessible, then 0.75 kilonewton per meter square, it can be taken. And for accessible, it is 1.5. Coming to wind load. Wind load is the most critical design parameter for any PEB structures. As the structure is very light, it has to be designed thoroughly for wind load. It should be in accordance with IS 875 part 3. So basically there we calculate wind pressure. If I talk about design parameter, then we'll calculate the pressure, and that pressure is distributed to columns, or if there is wall guards, we distribute over there. For example, in a roof, there is a purlin. So They're also like, will design for uh, pressure and suction. So we'll apply load, we'll distribute the load as per the span of the purlin, and accordingly 50% of the load from the both the edges of member will apply the load. Other is earthquake load. Earthquake load should be designed as per IS code 1893. As I told you, uh, lighter the structure, less is your earthquake load. So generally we have seen that wind, dead load, live load, and wind load. This wind is the governing one. Coming to crane load, if PB structure, if there is like provision of crane or monorail, the same load should be applied. We can have like this scenario as well. Snow load. Generally in India we don't find it, but yes, if it is like outside India where the country where there is a huge snowfall, this load has to be also applied, because the roof sheet thickness is hardly 30 to 40 So we there the design of roof sheet has to be increased, and it has to be designed as per the snow load. These are the various load combinations. It can vary from code to code. I'm just giving a brief of it, like dead load plus live load plus crane load. Other is dead load plus minus wind load. It may be like one is parallel, other is across 0 degrees, like it may be across, and in 90-degree opposite direction also will take into consideration. Other is 1.5 times of dead load plus minus seismic load. And last one, that is snow load. In snow load, we do not combine a live load. This is the bending moment diagram I was talking about. So if you see this 0.749, this is just iteration ratio of the members. So as per the bending moment, we at the top, if bending is high, so the thickness of the member, the depth of the wave and flange, depth of the wave generally we take higher as compared to the bottom. Here it's an example of like a fixed butt connection. If it is a pinned, here basically we'll get a zero bending moment. So this is the like a crux of between conventional bending and non-conventional bending. As I told you, in conventional bending, if you see the mid span, the bending moment is higher at the mid span. So in conventional bending, as per this bending moment, or entire section, entire uniform length is provided. Whereas in PB, we design as per the bending moment. Now coming to what are the career opportunities in PB sector. In PB sector, people find a good career. There is a huge demand of PB sector. PB structure nowadays, it is zooming like anything. For this, sound technical knowledge of structure, erection methodology, fabrication, etc. is required. One may work as a site engineer, one may work as a project manager. There is a role of fabricator as well, one who can do detailing, one who can do the erection. So there are various roles, like you can opt in this PB sector. Even this type of a structure is promoted under smart city. So lots of upcoming projects are there which is going to come in PB sectors. Recently one airport also in Haryana has been like done with PB sector only, with PB materials. So going ahead, the main purpose was to like get acquainted with the PB. So conclusion is that it is comparatively light as compared to conventional structure. It requires less time for construction. Cost wise, it is less. Moreover, it is efficient and clean. It has got more flexibility in future expansion. So this is like outcome of this.